Welcome to our pelvic floor breathing practice. There's a lot of talk lately in the wellness community about the pelvic floor and different issues that can arise there. There can be issues of tightness or weakness. And today in our practice, we're really not aiming to fix any of that. We're just aiming to bring a bit more awareness into that area. And that group of muscles can help us to breathe a little bit better, to facilitate a fuller, deeper, slower, more relaxed breath. This can have a ton of lovely benefits. So I invite you to try this practice out and maybe even bring it into your daily breathing or meditation practice. And we're going to start by finding a comfortable position. So some folks like to sit. Others might prefer to lay on their backs with their knees bent, feet on the floor, maybe throwing a pillow under the head or under the knees. Take a moment to relax and settle in. And while you're doing that, I'll just give you a brief overview of the pelvic floor. So very basic overview here. But you can essentially think of the pelvic floor as a group of muscles that are kind of a hammock between the pubic bone, the tailbone, and the sit bones. If you're familiar with the diaphragm, you'll know that the diaphragm is a kind of dome-shaped muscle just at the base of the rib cage. And as we breathe in, the lungs expand and it presses the diaphragm down. And you'll feel the belly lift and rise and expand. And you could almost think of this pelvic floor as a kind of bowl at the base of your abdomen, almost like a second diaphragm. And when you breathe in and that belly expands, it doesn't just expand the front and the side, it also expands downwards, and it will gently press that pelvic floor down. And as you exhale, the lungs contract. The belly moves in, the diaphragm moves up, and so does the pelvic floor. It gently lifts. And this happens every time we breathe. It doesn't require any effort. And sometimes from the stress of the day, we can kind of shorten our breath, and we'll be breathing just from the lungs, just in the chest. And what we're aiming to do a lot of time in our yoga and meditation and breathwork practices is to bring the breath a little lower, let it be a little fuller. And a great way to do this is by thinking about the belly and the pelvic floor, the whole abdomen, breathing with you. And take a few moments here as you settle. You've probably settled by now. And just let the whole body soften and relax. Let your shoulders start to melt. Soften the face, the palms. You might even like to rest your hands on your belly or chest. And see if you could just feel yourself breathing as you are in this moment. Can you feel rather than think? Feel where the breath goes without changing it at all. Maybe the breath naturally starts to slow as we do that. And see if you could bring the breath in through the nose and allow the belly to expand kind of freely here. And feel how it gently releases, contracts on the exhale. You could think of the belly like a balloon. And as you inhale, it expands 360, so the sides, the back of the body, and the base as well, where that pelvic floor is. It lowers down as you inhale. And as you exhale, it'll soften and the pelvic floor rises as the belly contracts. See if you could really tune into the base, that bowl at the base of the belly, the abdomen. Slow and steady breath through the nose, thinking of the balloon of the belly. And it can be a difficult area to feel, to tune into. It won't be as clear, likely, as the sensation maybe in the chest or the belly, but try to visualize that hammock, that bowl shape, that soft hammock of muscles between the pubic bone, tailbone, and sit bones. As you start to tune into that more, you might even start to connect that feeling in the belly, almost like a vacuum, pulling the breath in as the belly expands. And as it deflates and the pelvic floor rises, you'll feel the air softly moving out. You might even feel the breath more on the inside of the body than the outside. This can be difficult. So know if you're having a hard time finding it, that is normal. It's okay. You can try again. Inhaling, the lungs fill. Diaphragm flattens a little as the belly expands like a balloon. Pelvic floor drops. Exhaling, pelvic floor lifts as the belly contracts, condenses. That dome shape of the diaphragm moves up, lungs contract. You'll start to find that flow. We'll breathe here like this for a few moments together. You can stay passive. All happens naturally as we breathe, no effort required. Nothing you need to change or fix. And if you can't find it, that doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with you. It just means it's a difficult area to feel into, and that's okay. And take about 3 more of your own slow breaths here. And give yourself some time to come out of it. And sometimes those practices can leave you feeling a little spacey, maybe relaxed. Notice how you feel. And if you want, you could bring one or both hands over your heart and see if you could feel your heartbeat. Maybe it's really subtle too. Send gratitude to your body for all the hard work it does all day, every day. And send gratitude to yourself for carving out this time in your day to practice, to breathe, to send some love to your body. Thank you so much for practicing with me. Take care and stay well. Peace.